Hey guys, just a minute. So welcome to today's live stream session. Hey guys, my name is Samson and I will be taking you through today's session of decoding the charts. So we're going to do something a bit interesting today. We won't really get into analysis per se. We will be exploring. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so I think I had another screen on. So we will be exploring MQL5 in general and just seeing what other things you can do with your MetaTrader 5 platform. So to start us off, what is MQL5? So let me just open my MQL5. So anytime you open an account or you download, especially on your PC, anytime you open MetaTrader 5 for the very first time, it usually prompts you to create an account with MQL5. So MQL5 is simply a platform provider that we use to offer quotes with. So a lot of brokers will have the option of MetaTrader 5 or MetaTrader 4, and these ones are usually provided with MQL5. So MQL5 is like the company MetaQuotes that offers all of this. So you can go here on the home page and simply put, we have different things. We have ES, expert advisors, we have signals, we have a forum, we have an entire forum here. So it's a combination of all those things in the trading community that you have access to by the mere fact that you have MetaTrader 5 downloaded and connected. So you will have your normal account here. Let me just get back to this screen over here. So we're going to explore various things that MQL5 in general and MetaQuotes has to offer. So first things first, in as much as we have logged in, so when you're logging in with your broker, you log in from this section over here. So you can see there's a login button and you have the ability to link your account to MetaTrader 5. But we also have this button over here. So whenever you look at your MetaTrader 5, we have this option over here that enables you to link your MetaQuotes account to MT5. So what does this enable me to do? Number one, it allows me to have direct access of MetaQuotes from here. So from here, I get direct access to MetaQuotes. So we'll just go through a few things. Number one, so if you've not connected your account, remember you can create a separate account. So a MetaQuotes account is a different account from your broker account. So you can see here when I log out my account details, this is simply my MetaQuotes ID. So this one cuts across all your MT5 platforms. So what exactly can you do over here? So first option, sorry, I keep on sharing the wrong, where is it? Just a minute, yeah, this one. So remember to create your MetaQuotes account before proceeding with this. So the easiest way, of course, is to have, it's a very straightforward process. There is not really much that you need to do. Just create the password and the email and everything will be linked. And then once you have this, then you will be able to connect your MetaTrader 5 to meta quotes. So that allows you to access, especially this tab over here. So the first one is open MQL5 market, which is plugged in to your MetaTrader 5. So I'm back on the MT5. So let's explore a few things that can help us trade from here. So if I click on that, like that, this is the page it takes me to. So on the top here, there is experts, indicators, libraries, utilities. So why would I want to be on this page? I can explore add-ons that help me trade, and usually get a lot of these questions on the sessions that we conduct. You can explore different ways or different approaches to trade than the conventional approaches, and that's number one is by accessing directly your meta quotes, using your meta quotes account, the MQL5 market. So you can have, for example, experts that you can test. So if I click on experts like that, it should bring for me. So let's click on this one. This is an EA. So anytime you hover your mouse on any of these, it will tell you whether it's an expert advisor or an indicator or anything like that. So you have that option over here. So let's try, for example, when you go to tools, let me just go back. So remember over here, it will open a separate window, the market window. So that's one thing to note. So if you, for example, let me go to a normal chart and I try inserting indicators, I will generally find my standard indicators here. So I have my trend indicators, I have my oscillators over here, I have my volume indicators, and the rest. So you have Bill Williams and then custom over here. So you can install indicators direct from the market to this point over here. So for example, if I go to the website, maybe I can search from there. You can start with indicators and we'll test a bit of ES and then call it a day. So I go back to the market and say I want indicators. So there is MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5. So indicators for MT5 like that. Then from here, so there's usually popular, new, free, and paid. So you can always just do either. So you can just do free so that we can get to install. Trading ICT kill zone, for example. Now this is one indicator. You'd want to see how it works. So I can click on it like that and then just say download. Do you have, so it will prompt you, do you have MetaTrader 5? Yes. Then open in MT5 client terminal. Yes. Let's see what it's going to do. Just give it a minute. Okay. So just give it, so it should, once you click on that button, it should take you directly to your MT5 on the computer. That means if you have correctly inputted your account details over here, it should link you directly over here. The alternative is you can just copy this name as it is like that. So you click on copy, and then from there we can just go to our MT5. Let me just go to MT5 over here, and then go to the market and just search for the same name over here, and then click OK. So that's all. Let's see. Sometimes it takes some time to load. The indicators, and then from here we say free. Yeah, so it's here. So it's the same page. So It's saying trading session, ICT kill zone free. So let's just see how this one goes. Just click on download. Now, the good thing with doing everything from within here is it's directly takes you, installs for you. So that entire long process of installing these things simplified if you just log in from the market. So let's try and load up this indicator, ICT kill zone, and see what it's about. So I can open a normal chart. So whenever a new indicator is installed, you can see it from the navigator section, or you can come to insert indicators, custom, and then trading ICT kill zone should be here somewhere. LMAPQ, yeah, it's this one, second last. So just click on it like that, and then say okay. Yeah. So as easy as that, you have your indicator on the chart. You can proceed with your trading. You can try and backtest it and things like that. So it's very straightforward. For this one, I think it's just showing the sessions. And from the sessions, I think there's a strategy for time of day or something like that, for optimal entries, looking for liquidity sweeps and things like that. So that's an example of a way, that's one way to install indicators easily if you have everything connected over there. So there is a very huge library. So you can see from here, let me just go back. There is a very huge library of, let's go to indicators before we go to experts, of things you can watch out for. So you can either have paid for or even free indicators over here that you can use. There's one for support and resistance. There's a MACD, adjusted MACD indicator. So yeah, so it's up to you to know what you're looking for. There's one that shows you fair value gaps. So a lot of these things, you usually have them solved for us. So sometimes it's easy to just paste some of these indicators. Sometimes you'd rather just practice it on your own. But sometimes if you're trading fair value gaps, for example, you can find it over there. Yeah, so it's a very neat way to do things, a very improved way to do things, especially with your trading. So that's number one. You know how to install custom indicators in the chart. So you can be exploring this on your free time. Order blocks is over here just to see what is interesting and what you can do. So maybe we can try this one for order blocks also. So you just click on it and then you say download. Once it's downloaded, it should show up here. So if I go to another chart, let's use Euro USD. If I go to another chart like that, then I can either drag it from here, RFOC order blocks, or I can come to insert indicators, custom order block, like that. So I can put that over there. Let's see. Is it reading? Indicator lists. Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, so sometimes it's trial and error. You can try and see if it's working or not. Let's try one more. Let's try one more indicator to add so that we have a better example to use. So this one looks like it needs a bit more work to. So we go back to indicators. Let's do free. Then we can do maybe this one, price reversal indicator, and download. Should be straightforward. This time we can add it to US 500. So just, where is it? Price reversal, just drag it onto your screen or insert it from the custom indicators section, and there you have it. So you have this one showing you areas to buy and to sell based off whatever mechanism it is using. So that's one way to look at it. Next, we can explore something else. Say, for example, you want to do an expert advisor. So these ones are not really recommended, but I get a lot of questions, so you can just go through them. So we have a huge library also of expert advisors that you can use that are inbuilt on your MT5. So you don't have to leave your platform. So there are those that are paid for and those that are free. So the good thing about the paid for ones, before you even buy them, you have a chance to sort of test them out. So you can always test the indicators or the expert advisors before making that decision to buy. Another thing is be very careful with these indicators, especially the back tests. They're not very realistic. You always have to monitor what is happening. So you can click on this one, for example, and say download demo instead of buying it. So let's try this one. So sometimes it takes a while to download depending on how big it is. And then, so now this one will show under expert advisor. Remember, this is the navigator tab. How do you access the navigator tab? Just go to view and then navigator. So AI market EA. So we can try and test this one. So just right click on it like that. And then you say test. Like that. That brings you to the MetaTrader 5 testing environment, of which you can get to test the EA before using it. So we can do maybe last month, the entire month. So the first section is the expert itself. What EA are you testing, or what trading algorithm are you testing? The second option is a symbol. So you need to select the symbol that you want to test this EA on. And then we have the time frame. So again, MT5 usually has more time frame. So we'll just stick to H1. And then the testing period. So I've kept last month. So this is from the 1st of this month to where we are today. For testing, no. Then delays here, you see it's saying zero latency, ideal execution, but usually we have our internet connection is never strong, it's never stable. So for example, right now, I think it's about 100 and something millisecond delay. Usually that's where MT5 will range. So delays are simply how slow does it take to send the order to the server or to the broker. Now this is dependent on your internet speed, and most of the time it's usually around 100 milliseconds. So the larger the delay, it means the slower the internet, or the harder it is to reach the server. So that's one thing you need to look out for, watch out for. So now mine is saying 142.09 milliseconds at the bottom over here. So I can just leave this as is for now. And then hypothetically, how much will you want to start testing with? I've kept $10,000 leverage. I think you can change this to 1:400, like that. Optimization, visual mode. For now, you can check off visual mode and then you just click on start. So start at the bottom over here. So if I do that, let's see. I think sometimes it's usually CPU intensive. Let me just get this back to default. Okay. It seems to not be trading. Maybe we can try a different EA. Luckily, I had this one also on. So let's try this first one. Again, I've already downloaded it. So it's over here. So I can just drag this one here like that. So you can always just download the paid for versions just to test them before you commit. So you can try this one. Click on start. I think it started. So there'll be this loading bar at the bottom that will show you the progress of the thing itself. So in this case, it will backtest for you, and then there'll be a sound or a notification afterwards. So once that is done, you go here to the results of the backtests. So you click on backtest, it will tell you the history quality of this model is 100%. That means all the data loaded correctly. Number one, hello JS code. Number two, it will tell you the number of bars it's backtested, the initial deposit, net profit it's made. So I think for this one, you can view it on the graph. like that. So you can see that over that past 14 days, it managed to, the blue line is usually the balance, the account balance, and the green line is the equity. So you can see from here, for example, it's saying that on the back test, we made a net profit of $21, and the largest drawdown it had was $372. Yeah, drawdown in terms of the difference between the equity and the balance. And in this case, it made a loss of negative 255 and a profit of 276. So the net is $21. So you can see from that, gives you, now the only problem with this back test is they're not very ideal. Most of the times you need to follow up with these guys for maybe months or something until you're certain before you even commit anything. So we can increase the back test period, maybe the last year. So that can give us a more realistic. I don't know why it's doing that, sort of glitching. Oh yeah, so it started the back test. Another very interesting thing you can try with this is you can actually see how the indicator or how the EA performs. There's sort of a visual mode that you can use to see how exactly the trading or what type of trading it's doing. So in this case, we can, so I'm waiting for this one to load over here. So while it's loading, just a word of caution. Let me go back to this over here. So you can get to the market either from MT5 or from here. Now, a word of caution is whenever you look at these ES, even if it's the free ones, most of these ones are martingale ES. Now, I don't need to get into the details of what a martingale is, but they're usually very risky strategies that might not be ideal for everyone. So that's one thing you need to note about, especially if you're going to the MQL5 market to look for things to do. So you can say, see all, of course, they're free ones, but most of these you have to read the instructions just to know what it's about. So maybe I can open, let's go to this one. Let's look at this one. Yeah, so you have to go through and read everything here and also see over time how has the indicator been performing. So you have to read the comments, you have to read all these details so that you're aware before you even commit to any of these things that you find on the market. So that applies for both ES, new indicators, and anything coding included in this market. So you really have to be careful when shopping around for ES in the MetaQuote stores. So that's one thing you have to note. So let's look at the free ones, for example. I know a lot of guys usually like starting from here. But again, just because it's written paid for price doesn't mean you can't test it. You can always just go and test to see how it's working. If I go to free, for example, free experts, can click on experts first. Remember, there's MT5 and MT4. So yeah, so you go to experts like that, and then you say free. Again, remember to backtest, and backtesting is, you can always just rewind this video and see how we've done the backtesting. So like, for example, this one, universal breakout EA, dark Venus, bot AGI, whatever. So all these you have to backtest and then test them in a demo environment to have a better understanding of what's happening. So let me check if our backtest is done. Just a minute. It's still running. So I'm looking at this progress bar over here. I'm looking at this progress bar over here to know how far the test is. Again, it's usually very exciting to just go through these systems, just testing them, just to know what is out there. As a trader, you need to be versatile and just explore to see what else or how else you can approach the market. Does the EA, so typically, it's typical for most EAs. If you follow, so let's go back here. let's pick any random EA from here. So let's try and pick the top ones, the most expensive ones. So popular. Let's pick this one, the first one. So again, if before you even attempt to do anything here, just read through and just make sure you understand what's happening. So of course there'll be instructions on what to do. I'm wondering if there's a place for performance. I think it's over here. So this one, for example, is giving history. Again, one thing I usually do is I will try and follow, like here they have this, so I'll just click on it. Remember, everything is in MQL5, and MQL5 is the company that provides MetaTrader 5 and 4. So you're doing this in an environment, in a controlled environment. So try and at least follow just by watching what is happening here for a couple of weeks or months before you make that decision of probably this thing is working or it's not working. And that answers the question of does the EA lose its relevance or vitality over time? Most of them, yes, because they're trained to work under specific market conditions and not on all market conditions. So that's one thing you need to know about these EAs. They're not always going to work in every market condition, and that's okay. So you just need to do your due diligence. So the whole point of this session is whenever you're looking into these sort of things, always be very cautious and always know what to look for. So is account history, trading history, it can show you, you can go through all these trades. ES usually have tons of trades, but you can see the typical size of the trades and how frequent, what time it opens the trade and what time it closes the trade typically. So these are things you can view from here so that you have a better understanding. I'm trying to see whether this thing is done on here so that you can go through, and see what exactly it is that we should be looking for. So yeah, so while we are on MetaQuote still, we have forums. Yeah, the forum is here. So you have forums where you can exchange ideas. Yeah, so you see focus levels for oil, press review, VPS hosting specifics. So you have different things you can do on the MetaQuotes, including discussion. So something like ICT Smart Money, there's a whole discussion on it that you can see how many guys are commenting and just follow the discussion. So usually a good point or place to spend your time. The other thing you can do is we have the web terminal. I'm not going to go too much into that. It's just your MT5 terminal that you can connect online. So if you are accessing from someone else's computer and you want to access your trading account, you can just do that remotely. And then we have the trading calendar and virtual private server. Now, what is a virtual private server? It's simply space that MetaTrader provides for you that allows you to run different things that will ideally stop if you are to close your computer or close your MetaTrader 5 application. So most of the times it's used to run ES, because remember, for example, expert advisors usually go off if you switch off your MT5, and that might not be ideal. Speaking of which, so you can, it's usually very straightforward. I'll show you how to do this, from how to connect your account to a virtual private server, so that if you're hosting something and you've coded it and things like that, then you don't have to worry about it running when it goes off. So it seems our test is complete. So on the input section, unless you're doing optimization, which is a different topic altogether, but for now, again, on the model, you can see that the history just tells you how good is your backtest data. That's all. The number of bars it's traded, 5,400. The initial deposit was 10,000. Total net profit was 4,000. Yeah, so sometimes the results look good on backtests, but again, you have to forward tests, stress tests, and all those things are here. So always know what you're doing, especially with this. So this shows you how capital has grown. So from an initial deposit of 10,000, at this point here, the highest point was at 14,000. So the blue line will show you your balance over time, and the green line will show you, sorry, the blue line will show you your balance, the green line will show you your equity. Now, these things, these dips over here is what you should be careful about, because if you have a small account, then something like this can wipe you out. Because this is the difference here is the balance was at 12,000, the equity was at 11,000. You see that's a huge drop in floating profit. So this, there was a point this year had a floating loss of almost $1,000. So these are things you look at when you are testing these EAs. The other thing, so this one here is not really important. As long as your computer is up to date, it should be okay. So basically, that's it with regards to exploring add-ons. Okay, so VPS is over here or over here. Yeah, why do you need a VPS? If you're running something and you don't want it to stop, for example, this backtest assumes we have been running this EA. Again, we've kept here the period of over a whole year. So it assumes this EA has been trading the entire year from January without stopping. So even at night, the day, and you can't really turn on your computer for that long. Sometimes there might be a blackout. Sometimes anything can happen. So usually the best way to do it is to host it online. So you upload your entire charts online, and that's where the VPS comes in. So it's a way to explore different ways of trading. Again, it's always good to just explore to see where opportunities lie within a controlled environment. So there are other places on the internet that can get you new indicators and such things to add onto your MT5, but the safest place is the one that MetaTrader itself provides, and that's the MetaTrader 5 MetaQuotes website. So yeah, so I think this session, for those who are interested in exploring, I think this session has been useful. Again, remember, when you're backtesting, you can do a single backtest. That means you're testing just the EA and that's it. You can test an indicator. In this case, it just shows you how it looks like. Then you can visualize. So we can have an example here of visualization, or visualizing how an EA is working. So you can use that maybe for just a month, and then everything is set. So if I click on start and visualize, I'll have to share the new screen. You can see that it will show you how the trades are being taken in history. So it sort of gives you, for example, the balance, if you deposited X amount, and what this thing or how it will be trading like. So basically that's it. Yeah, so from here you can sort of have a rough idea of when it trades, when it doesn't trade, and things like that. So this gives you a very good environment to just test and see and to understand the mechanisms it's using. So you see, for example, right now it's opened so many trades at the same time. These are so many trades, you can even look at the drawdown over here. So this is something that you need to know even before you decide to put it on even a demo account. Yeah, so all this you can sort of know just from backtesting, visualizing it, knowing the risks and things like that. So any questions with regards to MQL5, the MetaQuotes environment? Remember, if you want to access MQL5, you have to create a separate account and then link it to your MetaTrader 5 to get access to all of these other add-ons that you can use with your trading and practice. So having said that, thank you so much for making time for this session. It was quite an odd session because I think this year we've done so much, so it's done. I think it's done. You see, it's closed all the trades, done all the trades for this month. We started with 10,000. Here it's 10,021, and you can look at the history. It also helps you understand the risks. Yeah, so while talking about this, there's a question. Does it have, sorry about that. Does it have trade copies where one has multiple trading accounts and wants to copy from them? So yeah, so you have all that on your meta quotes environment. So again, now this is a strategy test. I'll just have to close this and get back to meta quotes. So let's see. Get back to MT5. So again, these things over here, number one, you have market, virtual hosting, and signals. So that's where the connecting multiple accounts comes in. So you can set up one main account. So you can set yourself up or one account as a signal provider, and then the sub accounts, you can connect them to that main account. So whatever happens on the main account gets copied. Alternatively, you can copy someone else's, which I don't advise, but you can copy someone else's signals. Everything is built inside the platform, MetaTrader platform. These are things that are rarely talked about because you don't really need them in your trading, but if you do, you have to know how to do them safely. So so here you can register an account, or you can decide to go to your MetaQuotes account. So let me just do that. I think I'm back here. Hope it's visible. So if I go to that, let's see, market. Was it this one? I think it was this one. So it's just a random EA we've chosen. I'm not recommending anything on this platform, but it's something we've just chosen. So, and you come to more. Yeah, there was a point for signal. So you can opt to link your account to, so it's saying copy for $249 a month. Or if you find anything, now this might vary. It doesn't have to be, if I go back to the market, let's look for something that is not paid for. Just a minute. So something that is free. So if I have back tested, say I've spent a day going through some of these experts or some of these indicators, and I've seen something that I like, and I'd want it copied to my other accounts, or if I have many accounts, I want them copied, then what I can do is I can register one account as a signal provider and then link my other account. So that way I don't have to pay anyone. So just come here to register. It will take you here, and then you just have to fill this MT5, all these things, and then now once it's registered, it will appear with these guys. So if I go to signals, see there's everybody here who has registered their account, and they are offering signals. So it even tells you the number of people copying. So it will appear here. Once it's appeared here, then now you can connect your other accounts. So you can copy from yourself. You don't have to pay for some of these things. Okay. So again, I hope that answers that question. Again, this is strictly for testing first. So make sure you do your due diligence and just test it. Let's go here. Just a minute. I believe you're here. Oh, wait, I've not shared. I hadn't shared the screen. I hope I did. You're still live, I hope. If you can hear me, just say hi. Oh, yeah. Yeah, like, if you can hear me, just say hi on the chat section. Okay, yeah. So as I was saying, let me start again from the top. So MetaQuotes provides both MT5 and MT4, MetaTrader 5 and MetaTrader 4. Things you can do on MetaQuotes are just add-ons to your trading journey. So as I was saying, you can, for example, explore new indicators. You can explore ES within that environment, and you can explore things like signals. So we've done all that. If you rewind the video, you can see that we've tried indicators, installing indicators and just copying them on the charts to see how they're running. Then we've gone to ES, and I think that's where a lot of the questions are. And we've said that for ES, you can install them again from your MetaTrader 5 directly, just by going to the market section over here. So I'm just recapping so that we are all on the same page. So once you're at this point here, you're able to access both indicators, experts, libraries, and all those things over here. So you can even choose whether you want new, free, whatever. But anytime you take something from this store, we've said always go and backtest it. And that's what we've done for the better part of the session. You've backtested. Then now the question was, does it have trade copies? Which you've also answered. Yes, you can always have ways to copy. Either you can link your own accounts or you can copy from someone else within MetaQuotes. So it still has to be within MetaQuotes. That means you need to have created your account. That's why we were talking about, when coming back here, that we have here markets, signals. I wouldn't recommend this, but if you feel like you want to explore, make sure you have backtested, at least tried it on a test environment first before you do anything. And then you have also the forum that we've talked about, where you have discussions on various topics. Yeah. For signals, again, you can link your own account. So I was saying, when you go back to MT5, there is this option here for register account as a source of trade signals. That is if you have multiple accounts, you can just link them from there, like that. So you click on that, it should take you to a section where you share. So if I clicked on that and it took me here, where you can register now your account as a signal provider, and then now link other MetaTrader 5 accounts onto that account. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. So having said that, again, thanks for attending today's session. This was just exploring. For the entire year, we've done a lot of theory and a lot of videos, and this was something different, at least a break from all the discussions on indicators, strategies, just so that we know what else happens on this MetaTrader 5 platform that we interact with every day. So at least now you know a bit more with regards to the MetaTrader 5 platform, what you can do. As you can see, we also installed a custom indicator. So, oh, sorry. Am I on the right? Yeah, I am. Yeah, so we installed a custom indicator, and that's how it looks like. So, yeah, having said that, thanks for attending today's session. See you on Friday. We will be wrapping up the market events for this week. And then from there, we call it a week. So thanks again for attending. Have a good evening.